Welcome in. I am so happy to be with you today. We are talking about my favorite city in the world, Dubai, why I just moved here, the pros and cons of living here, and we are going to do a Q&A. I love the questions that you ladies sent me on Instagram, so I'm really excited to get into those. Welcome everybody. How this video is going to break down is first I'm going to share what inspired me to move here and how that process was, and then what the reality of living in Dubai is actually like. It's very different than just traveling here and kind of what you see on Instagram, and I'm really excited to share. So why I moved here? I get this question all the time, and if you have seen my other videos, you know, my girls, but I had visited Dubai back in October. It's now April of 2024, and when I came out here, I knew this was my home. I've always felt this pulling, you know when you see a city on Instagram or on Pinterest and you just feel there's something about that city that I need to go and explore. That is how I've always felt about Dubai. And when I came out here, it all just clicked and it made sense, and I realized this is a city for me. It was the energy of the city, it was the people that I met, the food, the culture, everything was just so beautiful and kind of like everything that I love, but at a whole other level. So the main things that I noticed when I came out here is that there was such, as the sirens go off, I promise Dubai is safe. That's so funny. When I came out here, I noticed that there was such a wide range of culture and that the energy out here felt very safe. It felt very electric, like it just felt you could do anything, you could have any dreams, any inspirations, and feel so supported and feel like, yes, I'm in the energy of other people who want to be their best too. So I loved the energy of the city. And I had to really sit with myself and think, are we ready to move? And the question that I live by, you girls know this, why not? I asked myself, why not? I'm 24. This is the youngest that I'll ever be. Your 20s are for exploring the world and for playing around. Actually, any age is for that. But I just asked myself, why not move here? And I moved here, and it has been life-changing. I'm originally from Las Vegas. I have lived outside of the country once. I've lived in South Korea when I was a baby. I was a military kid growing up, so I don't remember it. Coming from the US to the Middle East is a huge culture shock. I have learned so much that we're going to get into, and it's definitely been an adjustment, but a beautiful one. The challenges, the growth has been amazing. So that's more of why I moved here. And also the city really aligns with my values. When I came out here, I made a vlog and I was just sharing, oh my gosh, everybody's so connected to God, and the women carry themselves so modestly and with so much grace and beauty. And a lot of my friends said, Alexis, we just have a feeling that you're going to move there. That city is everything that you've grown up believing. And I am somebody who really values my faith. I'm Christian, I love Jesus. We're gonna talk about how that is in Dubai too. But I have never felt more connected to God being out here. I also have strong values around the way that I protect my body, the way that I protect sacred, sensual, feminine energy, and Dubai aligns with that so much. It's completely different from the United States. So being out here, I felt this is my home, and I just moved out here, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. So that's why I moved out here. It was not to escape the United States. There was a question that I got, are you trying to escape the US? I love the US. I love the United States. There's so much beauty there, and I really do miss it at times. However, I am not the type of person to stay in one place for my whole life. So I thought, why not move? I love the US, I can always come back, but it's time to open my eyes and open up my mind. So that is why I'm here. Now for the pros. There's so many pros. Okay, I would say the number one pro of living in Dubai is the safety. It is one of the safest cities in the world. I believe it's in the top 5. Number 1 is Abu Dhabi, which is about an hour away from where I live. It blew my mind when I saw where Dubai was on the chart of safety compared to where America was. I always thought the US is safe. People that live here, they're scared to go and visit the US. They think it's so dangerous. They think that it's bad. And honestly, when I first landed in Dubai, I opened up my phone. All over social media, what I saw was women talking about walking down the streets of New York and getting punched in the face. I thought, what in the world is going on in the United States? So that is one thing that is a night and day difference. I honestly had so many misconceptions about the Middle East. I thought it was dangerous. I thought as a woman it's not safe. My mind has been opened, and I'm so grateful for that information. One of my friends that is born and raised in Dubai, she told me, Alexis, you can go for a walk at midnight with headphones in, wearing whatever you want in Dubai, and nobody will touch you. Nobody will come and be creepy. And when she told me this back in October, I thought, oh, I don't know. She is 1000% right. I have never felt more safe in my life, and it has unlocked such a deeper sense of feminine energy where I can just be myself and flow. And my girls, it has been such an adjustment not having to check over my shoulder. Last night, I'm in my Airbnb. Also, I just got the keys to my apartment literally an hour ago from my agent, so I'm so excited to move in and to show you my apartment. Last night I heard some noises outside my Airbnb. My heart, you know when your heart starts speeding up, like, do I need to call the police? Is everything okay? I had to stop myself and say, Alexis, you're in one of the safest cities in the world. Of course you're okay. So it's just been a lot of unlearning things. Definitely unlearning to always be on guard. When you come to Dubai, you see the women, they flow, they are so empowered, and they feel so safe in their body, and it unlocks such a deep sense of feminine energy and freedom. You can tell that there's so much fluidity here. Like we always talk about, the key to feminine energy is fluidity. It's like water, just being able to move and flow. You can do that so well here. So I love that Dubai is safe. It is one of my favorite things. Okay, number 2 is the diversity in culture. So I'm coming from Las Vegas, which everybody always says Las Vegas is such a melting pot. It is a night and day difference. Here, I have met, I think, 2 Americans. I've been here for a month. I've met hundreds of people. Most of the people that I meet are from different cultures. People come from Russia, people come from Iran, people come from Pakistan, people come from Canada. And it's taught me a lot about embracing other cultures and opening my mind. With that diversity in culture, what my favorite part of Dubai is that people have an open mind. People are so welcoming, people are so generous and so accepting. So an example of this, where was I? I was at this place, there's so many things that you have to do to get your visa processed. And there was this place where we were supposed to stand in line, and some people, you could say, cut in front of line. But the way that I look at it is, what if in their culture, in their country, they don't have lines where they're from? And it's true, I've learned this in college. I would study different cultures. Some cultures do not have lines. It's just whoever makes it to the front, you get it. So that's something that I'm unlearning, is that not everything has to be the rules that I was taught by. So people have an open mind because of that. And with that, there's a lot less judgment. For example, in the US, I used to work in a restaurant 2 years ago, before I opened up my businesses. When I was working in the restaurant, sometimes people would say, where are you from? The way that you say that word is funny. And I would always feel, do I have an accent? Do I talk funny? And here, people would never judge you. They would never ask you those sorts of questions, because in their mind, they go, I don't know this person's culture. There's hundreds of culture here. Why would I sit and judge somebody when they might have been raised a completely different way? So there's freedom, number 1, because there's safety, but there's also freedom, number 2, because you might have just been raised different, and people don't judge the way that you think, the way that you speak, or the way that you act because of it. You are truly free to be yourself. And you ladies have told me, which I love, you keep telling me that there's so much more freedom in the way that I speak and move and show up. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And I really feel that it's because of the culture here that I'm embracing. Okay, so the diversity in culture. I love learning to expand my mind. Also, I can share my religion freely. We're going to get into that in the Q&A, but yes, you can be any religion here. Dubai is free to be whatever religion you like. When I share my religion, people don't judge. Even if they're Muslim, they will ask questions. Or something that I think is so funny, every time I tell a taxi driver that I'm Christian, they will say, do you know that as Muslims, we know and love Jesus too? They always tell me that. I had no idea that in the Islam faith that they knew who Jesus was. I didn't know that. I've learned so much being here. So there's just a lot of differences in religions and culture that I'm learning, and everything is accepted, which I love. Okay, number 3, the faith is very, very strong. When I came here in October, as I told you in the vlog, I felt so connected to God. It was the energy of the city, and I came during Ramadan, which I feel so blessed to have experienced. You can tell that people have a trust in a source higher than themselves. Everybody, when you come here, you'll hear them saying, Inshallah, you're so beautiful, Inshallah, this, and it's so beautiful because they trust God so much, and I also trust God so much. And with that, there's such a peace in people's spirits, and you can feel that in the city. The city, to me, feels very peaceful, so I love that. Also, another pro, Dubai is so clean the moment you land at the airport. So if you come and visit Dubai, go to the airport and just look at the bathrooms. Smell the beautiful clean air. Maybe don't do that, but just feel how beautiful and clean it is. There are bathroom attendants everywhere you go, even like little small shops. Like I'll go to small bathrooms inside of a souk, and there's bathroom attendants in there. People that are always cleaning the toilets right after you and making sure that you have paper towels. It's like that in the nicer places in the US, but not everywhere. And every bathroom has a bidet, which I think is so cool. My siblings and I, when we first found a bidet, so I'm the oldest of 4 kids. I have 2 little brothers and 1 sister. And when we first saw a bidet, we were at this person's house growing up, we thought, they're so rich. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Everybody has a bidet here. I have one in my Airbnb, and to me, it's just the coolest thing. So I love how clean it is. I have not seen one piece of litter on the street. The streets, you can eat off the sidewalks. They are so clean. Dubai is just a very clean city. If you have OCD, you will love living here because there are no germs, everything's clean. I actually believe that it is illegal to be homeless here. I do need to double check that, but somebody did let me know if you are homeless, it's illegal in Dubai. So that also really helps with the safety, and that really helps just keep the city clean. There was an experience, I don't think I've shared this on YouTube, but when I was living in Los Angeles, I was actually assaulted by a homeless man. And it was one of the craziest, the scariest experiences that I've ever had. And I didn't realize how much of a privilege it is to live here, to never have to worry about something like that again. So it's the little things that just bring so much peace that I really appreciate about Dubai. Okay, this is one of my favorites. You knew that we were going to talk about this. I've already told you ladies so much about this. The feminine and masculine energy here, next level. So what does that actually look like? The women here, it's a different type of feminine energy. It's more mysterious, it's more sensual, it's more empowered. A lot of people ask, are the women here oppressed? No. It is the opposite. In fact, when I look back, I think, actually the Western culture is more oppressed. You can't even walk down a sidewalk in New York without thinking you might get punched in the face. Here in the Eastern culture, women are so empowered and they are modest. Modest doesn't just mean covering up with clothing, it means modest energy. Humble, kind, gracious, generous. One of my friends brought me over to her house, and it was such a beautiful experience. She was giving me all this food, and she gave me her perfume. Her mom comes down, I meet her family, and her mom goes, here's this scarf from Saudi Arabia, I want you to have it. People are just so generous. Emiratis especially are very generous. What's interesting on that note is that Emiratis are just people who are born and raised in Dubai. And they only make up about 10% of the population. About 80 to 90% of the population in Dubai are expats, meaning people who have moved from their home country and are now living here. I'm an expat. So it's so interesting how the people that this is their home, I don't know how they feel about it, but there's so many people living here that are not originally from Dubai, and there's a lot of beauty in that, but I'm sure that it's also hard for the people who are Emirati. But they're very kind, and the feminine energy, it's just beautiful because women flow, like they cover their bodies so much, and a lot of people have the misconception that if you cover your body it means that you're insecure. It is a complete opposite. My mind has just been blown. My friends that do wear the hijab and wear the abaya, they've told me, Alexis, we want to cover ourselves. This is not for everyone to see. This goodness is for my husband to see. And I love that. I respect it so much. And my style has changed so much. It's probably still going to change so much in the next few months. I just feel like I want to be more covered, and with that, this is the craziest thing. We'll talk about this in another video, but more of my sensual energy has come alive while I've been covering up more. And it's because it's not being leaked out of, as we've talked about before. It's more contained, and it's energizing my body and my creativity and the things that I bring to life, the conversations that I have. So there's this energy that women carry here. It's like a buzz of excitement, creativity, mystery, and just pleasure. They're in a state of pleasure because they're taken care of. We'll talk about why that is with the masculine energy, and also they're safe. They're not checking over their shoulder. They're safe in their body. They're at peace. Okay. The men here. So the masculine energy is incredible. I love seeing it, and it really reminds me of the way that my brothers are. I have really amazing brothers. I've made a YouTube video with one of them if you'd like to meet him. So the masculine energy here, men love to hunt, they love to pursue, and with that, they will come up and they will just approach you. And when they approach you, it's different. Never, not once, has a man done that body scan. You know when a man looks at you in the US and his eyes kind of go like that, like he's checking out your body? I've never experienced that once here. What I've experienced, it gives me chills to talk about, but when a man comes and approaches you, he has this excitement in his eyes, like you are a queen, like you are a princess that he has never seen before. And he's just so enchanted. Like that's the look that he has in his eyes. And it feels more respectful. It feels more like polarity. It feels that I can just relax and be in my feminine energy more because of that. So men, there's no shame in rejection here. When you tell a man, I'm not interested in dating right now, or I'm not looking to date, in the US it's dangerous. Women have literally gotten attacked for telling men that they're not interested. Here, men go, okay, I wish you the best, inshallah, and they go about their day. They don't have such a big ego, and they want you to feel safe and for you to feel comfortable. They're so secure in their masculine energy that they're not going to pressure women to feel uncomfortable because they are weak and need a woman to feel worse so that they can feel better about themselves. Men are very strong here, and it's very beautiful. Most men are raised with good values, good morals. They have that connection to God, and they're comfortable in their masculine energy. So they don't need to put women down to feel better about themselves. They want to lift them up, because when their woman is nourished and feeling good and feeling beautiful, he feels more in his masculine energy, and that's his natural state of being. So I noticed that the polarity here is very strong. I had also talked about this in one of my vlogs, that men will ask if you are married. They don't ask, do you have a boyfriend? What are you doing? They will come up and they're serious. They want to know, are you married? Can I pursue you? Can I court you? To me, it is amazing. It's so different. So I love it. And I will say that there's pros and cons, or not pros and cons, but take everything with a grain of salt, because of course not every man in Dubai is in his healthy masculine energy. Not every man in the US is in his healthy or wounded masculine energy. It ranges, and you really attract what you are. So I will say that the feminine and masculine energy here, I love it. You know what I love too? So I attended the Women's Empowerment Convention this weekend, and there was a wonderful man who hosted it. And he kept complimenting that in the room there was so much elegance. And I kept hearing this word elegance the past few weeks while I've been adjusting here. Men and people in general compliment women's elegance and her grace. Where in the United States, what I notice is men will say she's really hot, or she's really sexy, she's really beautiful. Where here, it's your elegance, your charisma. I've been complimented on my charisma. It's different adjectives that are used to compliment women, and I just think, wow, the fact that a woman's elegance and her heart and her real presence is being complimented rather than the physical, there's something so beautiful about that to me. Okay, two more, and then we're gonna move to the cons. I don't even like to call them cons, because there's not really cons, it's just things that I'm adjusting to. Okay, the convenience living in Dubai. You can become a hermit here. One of my good friends that lives here, she told me, Alexis, it's so easy to become a hermit because everything, you can do it at your fingertips. groceries being delivered, you need someone to do your nails, they'll come over. I just did this 2 days ago. If you need someone to print and bring you paperwork so that you don't have to go to a store and send the PDF and have them print things, people deliver everything to you. You don't have to really lift a finger. And I notice here it's because Dubai is built for convenience and it's built for safety. The leader of Dubai, when he was creating the city, what his vision was I want to create the best place on this planet. I want to have the highest level of safety. I want to have the best employment opportunities. I want to have the best healthcare, the best freedom, the best food, the best buildings. And he has really created that. Dubai is a really new city, and it's really interesting to see that it's not about time, it's about your mindset. The leader here has a very strong mindset and goes, let's create the best city in the world. And he's done it. I just love the way that there's such an open mind. If you are an entrepreneur, you will thrive in Dubai. That's something that really attracted me here, is the spirit of entrepreneurship. People are very passionate here. So there's so much convenience. Why I think that there's convenience is because people value their time here. There's a lot of wealth, there's a lot of confidence, there's a lot of knowing your value. And when you know your value, your time is limited. You hate when your time is wasted. I cannot stand when time is wasted. So for an example, when I was doing my medical exam, which you have to do to get your visa, I was in there and out of there within 30 minutes. I did my shots, which, I hate needles, but I got through it. I was like, this city's worth it. I got my shots, I got my x-ray, I got everything done, like changed clothes and everything for the x-ray within 30 minutes. That's unheard of in the US. My family would spend hours at the hospitals because it's just slow. Like, why can't we be efficient? Dubai is efficient, it's convenient, they know that people here value their time, and they adjust accordingly. Okay. I also love that my creativity is coming to life so much. The day after I landed, I took out my notes. I was like, okay, I want to film this YouTube video, I want to create this course, I want to do this TikTok content. I feel my creativity has just reached a whole new level. That's another pro that I love here. When you are in the right city with the right energy, things just come out of you that you would never expect. So I really feel that. I feel like I'm always smiling. I just feel so happy being here, and I really appreciate your ladies' comments. In my last video, every comment was, Alexis, you're glowing. What is your skincare? I'm not doing anything different. I just love being here. I feel so happy, and I'm really, really grateful to be able to live here. So thank you so much for all the compliments that I'm glowing. I also love that there's humidity here. I love humidity. Okay, in Las Vegas, it was like 10-15% humidity. Here, it's, I think, 70% humidity today, so my skin feels moisturized. My hair feels good. I just feel good outside, like sweating and detoxing. I personally love that. Okay, now let's move to the cons, or the things that I'm getting used to. So I'm getting used to these doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad. The first one that I'm still honestly struggling with is that the healthy foods here are limited. And I mean more of the healthy snacks within the grocery store. It took me weeks to find avocado oil. I love avocado oil for cooking. It's one of the only oils that your body can process naturally, and it has a high heating point, unlike olive oil, which once you heat it past a certain point, it doesn't process the same in your body. As you can tell, I love nutrition, I love health, I love gut health because it has changed my life. I have so many videos on this. I used to suffer with acne, with a lot of nervous system dysregulation, digestive issues, and I just didn't feel good in my body. Like, I always felt this panic, and it's because I was eating the wrong diet and had horrible gut health growing up. So to me, healing and taking care of my body is very healthy. There are very limited options when it comes to healthy snacks. So there's no Sprouts, there's no Whole Foods here. There are alternatives like organic foods and Waitrose. It's just not the same. The US has wonderful options, especially Las Vegas and Los Angeles when it comes to healthy plant-based foods. So I do miss my snacks, like the Siete brand I really miss, and my Health Aid kombuchas. I haven't found a really good kombucha that I love just yet. But I also understand that it's been 3.5 weeks that I've been here, and maybe I don't know everything about the markets here. I do really miss more of the fresh fruit though, and more of the healthy foods. Dubai is a desert, so the fresh fruit is different than what I'm used to. Okay, Also, another example is I haven't been able to find vanilla extract. I love cooking and I love baking. And I've only been able to find vanilla syrup, which no, I'm not gonna use that. So it's just been a little bit tougher there. However, the food, delicious. Oh my gosh, every restaurant has been so amazing. My number one favorite food now is Lebanese food. I love Lebanese food. It used to be Mexican food and Asian food, now it's Lebanese. Okay, so that's one thing that I'm getting used to. Number two is the air quality. Oh, I would say Dubai would be perfect if the air quality was good. When I came to visit in October, I was looking at the sky every day. I'm like, why is it not blue? Why is it kind of gray? Like, why is it kind of yellow at times? Then I saw the air quality. It is not good. It is not good at all. It's not terrible. It's not the worst in the world, but it's far from being the best. It did rain here, which I'm sure all of you have heard about. We had that crazy flooding last week. The day after it flooded, the sky was blue. The air was so clean here. It was so different. And unfortunately, there's just a lot of pollution. The city is building up very, very quick. I think the population is expected to double in the next 10 or 20 years. So I'm glad that I'm getting here now. But the air quality is just not the best. So I do miss that clean air living in Las Vegas specifically, but it's okay. It's something where it's not a deal breaker for me. And there are areas where the air is cleaner. Another thing that I'm getting used to is that people are not as overly friendly. For example, walking down on the sidewalk, you don't just randomly smile at strangers. I'm used to doing that. I have felt crazy here. Walking in the grocery store, I'll tell people hello, or in the elevator with people, how are you, how's your day? And people are like, what? And I ask my friends that live here, they're like, oh no, Alexis, you don't do that. It's not like the US where you're super friendly. People kind of just stay in their own lane. People are very friendly, but I just mean randomly to strangers. You don't interact as much. So that's something really big that I notice. However, it's kind of an advantage because when I go to places, for example, I had to get a number for Dubai. So now I have a local number. And when I was registering my phone at the Do store, there was such a long line. Every time I go in there, there's such a long line. I had to wait for like an hour. I literally finished one of my books while I was sitting there. And I was talking with one of the employees there, and I was just asking, how is your day going? And do you have a family? Where are you from? And she was so caught off guard. She's like, you're speaking with me? She just had that smile, that look in her eyes, like, this is so refreshing. And every person that I interact with, every employee, I treat them like that. And what has been amazing is they almost all tell me, Alexis, when you come back to the store, when you come back to this restaurant, come and find me. You will skip the line and I will give you the best service. So that's been really nice. I'm really grateful for that, is just the interaction with people. When you can make somebody feel special and feel listened to, we're all craving that. People treat you so above and beyond. Next, this one is a con for sure, is the social inequality. There's a very large gap between the wealthy and the people who are struggling, way bigger than what I witnessed in the United States. Every taxi that I drive, so my car is still being shipped here, so I've been taking taxis everywhere. Every driver that I've spoken to, I ask about their family, I ask about their life, and I'm just curious to know the way that they think and maybe what their background is. So whenever I talk with a driver, what breaks my heart is I will ask about their family, and they will show me pictures of their newborn daughter. They'll show me pictures of their wife and their kids. And I ask, when is the last time that you have seen them? 4 months ago, 1 year ago, 8 months ago. And to me, that is heartbreaking, because the family unit being torn apart like that is not healthy, and I'm sure it's weighing on their level of happiness. And I can't imagine how hard that is in a romantic relationship. I have a lot of respect for the people who move from their home countries. A lot of people move here from Pakistan to work because the wage is a lot better. I have a lot of respect for them. They work very hard. They have a lot of integrity. A lot of the drivers work for 12 hours a day. One of the drivers yesterday that I had, he wasn't in the car when I arrived to the car. I was thinking, where is he? He ran out of the convenience store that was right next to it. He goes, I'm so sorry, I haven't eaten all day. I just need this to get by. And I remember thinking, oh, it's 1 p.m. He hasn't eaten and all he has is a bag of chips. I wish that I had brought snacks or food for him. Guess what he says next to me? He turns around, gives me the bag of chips. He goes, "Do you want these?" And I wanted to cry. I thought, how in the world are you this generous? You barely have food to eat and you're offering it to me. So the social inequality to me is very heartbreaking to see, and I want to find a way to help. I know that tipping here is not super common, but when I can, I will send an extra tip, and it makes their day. It is really, really hard to see, so I do wish that that was better. A lot of people have said, just wait till you see the dark side of Dubai, and to me that is the dark side, the social inequality. However, I've asked a lot of them if there's any ideas that they have for starting a business maybe, and I like to talk about that with them because I can see the creative juices flowing, and I have the experience. I've opened multiple businesses in my life, and hopefully some of the ideas that we've been able to talk about, they can take them and run with them because they're in a city where anything is possible. So that is definitely one downside that I've seen. The heat, oh my gosh, it is hot. However, I prefer the heat than the cold. I am a tropical beach girl. I am not built for the mountains. I'm not built for the cold. I don't like camping. I don't like that stuff. So to me, Dubai is perfect. I know that there's a lot of people that say it's all infrastructure. It's not all infrastructure. There's a lot of green here. There's a lot of beauty. The beach is my favorite source of nature. So the heat is a lot, but I think that it's very beautiful. It's very grounding here in a lot of areas, and I can take the heat. I haven't experienced the summer just yet. It's April right now, and it was 97 degrees this morning, so we will see how the summer is. Okay, so that's all for the pros and the cons. Now for the Q&A. I'm so excited for this part. You ladies sent me so many amazing questions on Instagram, so let's get into it. Number one, is Dubai expensive? Yes and no. It's nothing like you see on Instagram. Whatever you see on Instagram about Dubai, just be careful believing because a lot of it is exaggerated. Yes, there's places where there is extreme wealth. Yes, there are places where it is so affordable and very easy to live. If you are traveling to Dubai, it's probably going to be less expensive than Hawaii, minus the flight. The flight is a bit more, but I mean the activities, the hotel, the food, that shocked me. It is not the way that you would think. My friend and I went to lunch yesterday, and we went to this beautiful Lebanese restaurant. A meal that would probably cost $300, $400 in the US cost us about $150. So it is night and day difference with the cost of food, I noticed, at restaurants. And if you want to move out here, how much money do you need? It's hard to answer because it depends on your lifestyle and the activities that you enjoy. One thing to note that I had no idea about is for apartments, sometimes you have to pay the whole year lease up front in one check. I was shocked. I found my apartment. I'm like, yay, this is awesome. I had to pay the whole year in one check. That's not typical in the US. You pay month by month, so I was a little shocked by that. So you do need a large sum of money saved up. Definitely if you're going to move here. There's also a lot of random expenses that come up. The visa alone, I have a 2-year visa. It costs around $4,000. Taxis this last month have cost me around $700. There's been a lot of places and meetings that I've had to go to. Food, maybe $1,000 to $1,500 US dollars a month. That's with eating out a few times a week and getting groceries and water and vitamins. You know, I love my vitamins. The actual cost of apartments, it ranges. It depends on the area and what type of apartment. So I looked at apartments that were, I found one that was like $4,700 a month for a 1-bedroom, which to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane. So that was close to $5,000, but that's because it was at a really prestigious unit right in the middle of downtown, like right next to the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world. So that was a lot, but you can find a 2-bedroom, for example. I have a 2-bedroom apartment, and you can find those for about $4,000 a month. It really just depends on the area that you like. I chose an area that's very family friendly, that's very quiet, and it's very beautiful. Lots of shops and restaurants around that you can walk to, but I'm not a downtown girly. I tried to be a high-rise girl downtown, but it's just not for me. It was too much energy, and so I chose something a little bit quieter. Do you have to cover up as a woman? Yes and no. So majority, no. You can dress however you would like here. There's no rules if you're like walking down in the mall or walking on a street that says you have to wear a hijab or a abaya, you have to have your neck covered. There's nothing like that. However, when you go into government buildings, when you go into mosques, you do have to cover it. It's respectful, and there's nothing wrong with that for me. So going into a mosque, a place of worship, they will not let you go in if you have a little bit of shoulder exposed, if you can see through it. And at first I always thought, wow, that's so strange, like maybe that's taking away rights for a woman. However, it's actually protecting women, because they don't want women being seen as objects. They don't want women being looked at and felt uncomfortable. So they do require to cover up, and most women have no problem with that here. However, walking around in Dubai, outside of the government buildings, outside of the mosques, you can wear whatever you'd like. So, especially if you are a tourist or you're thinking, do I need to change my wardrobe when I come here? No, you're okay. But you probably will feel like you want to be more modest. There's just an energy to the city where when you see how the women are dressed here, the most covered up, the most modest women are the most respected, and they have this queen energy about them that you're like, ooh, I want to dress like that too. So it is very, very different, but you do not have to cover up. Biggest life lesson that I've learned since moving here, I would probably say learn to unlearn everything. Question your beliefs, question your mentality, and ask, does this still align with me? Always checking in with my beliefs and seeing, does this still align? That's been the biggest life lesson, because I've had to expand my mind with the new cultures, and I love that. It has pushed me to grow so much. My biggest life lesson, I shared it in my Day in Dubai vlog. It was that I have always been distracting myself with family, with people. My first time living alone, I moved here to Dubai by myself. I've had to face myself fully, see all parts of me, and that's been a big life lesson to say this is safe to do this, and that I was not doing it before. How can I move there? Please take me with you. Girl, I would love to. How you can move there is decide that you get to move there. There will be limitations that pop up, such as, oh, what if it's expensive? What am I going to do with my car? What if I miss my family? Your mind will come up with all of the limiting beliefs in the world until you've decided. And things work out when you decide. I personally hired an agent to handle my visa application. It made things so easy. I will put I'm going to reach out to her and see if she's comfortable with it, but if she is, I will put her company name in the description so that if you want to move to Dubai, you can use her company. She took care of everything for me. How do I see Arab women? Is the feminine energy healthy or weak? I see Arab women as very empowered and very mysterious. I think that the feminine energy is very strong, specifically in Dubai. I'm not saying that every Middle Eastern country that women are empowered, because there are a lot where they don't have the same rights as they do here, and there is some oppression. I see Arab women specifically in Dubai as being very empowered, very generous, very beautiful. I literally have to stop myself from staring at women because they're just so gorgeous. I'm like, this beauty exists. It's like nothing that I've seen before. So I see them as very beautiful, very kind, and very honest. Women will come up to you, Arab women, and say, mashallah, you are so beautiful. And I think that it's because they're so secure in themselves that they have no problem complimenting other women. So I see them as amazing and super empowered. What do I miss the most? My family, hands down. I miss my mom, my brothers, and my sister, and my best friends who are like my sisters. I FaceTime them a lot, and I'm bringing my mom out here next month, and my friends are going to visit soon, so that does help, but I do miss them. Nothing can make up for actually getting to hug them and like laugh with them, cook with them, so I miss them a lot. I miss them so much, but I have a lot of pieces of home. For example, this cup is from one of my sweet, sweet students. She's in my business course and launched her own business. How cute is this? It says, things that I keep high, vibration, standards, income, and heels. And then things that I keep low. So I took little pieces of home like this, and it has helped a lot. I do miss them, but I do feel that they're just a plane ride away. And also, there's no limitations to life. They can come out here to visit. I can go out there. It's not going to stop me in this decision. I almost got in my head and said, no, I'm not moving there. My family, I need to stay with them. But I'm creating my family here. And yeah, I do miss them, but it's been okay. Okay. How did I find the courage to move here? I think this is such a beautiful question. And the courage to move here actually started years ago with inner work. It started with my decision to say, Alexis, every day or close to every day, we're going to do one thing that scares us. And I've been doing that. I believe in the compound effect. I believe in having strong inner work standards and dreams. And I've said I want to be a woman who's so confident and faces her fears. So what I started doing years ago is I decided I'm going to do one thing every day that scares me, or close to every day if I can. And that decision has compounded to allow me to make bigger decisions like this where it's no big deal. It felt like no big deal to move here. My family was like, oh my gosh, not my immediate family, but other family. They're like, Dubai is so dangerous. You're moving to the Middle East. You're leaving your family behind. How are your businesses gonna do? And I'm like, this is no big deal. It's just the other side of the world. But it's because my mentality has shifted from the inner work that I've been doing for years. So it starts with the small decisions, such as keeping the promises that you make to yourself, deciding to do one thing every day that scares you. This weekend, I was at the Women's Empowerment Convention, and something that I did on Saturday that scared me is I joined a table of women and introduced myself and just started speaking. This event, there were incredible, powerful women there. Like, I met a woman who owned a private jet company, women who are content creators, women who own businesses. And I went to this event not knowing anybody and feeling honestly really scared, but I wanted to hear the women speak. I wanted to make these connections and really get to know the women. And at the beginning, there's like a coffee station and drink set up before the convention started. And I just saw a group of ladies and I said, I'm so scared to go up to this table. What if they don't like me? Like all these limiting beliefs. But I just went up and I said, hello ladies, can I join you? They're like, yes, come on in. And I just started talking. How are you? What is your name? Where are you from? And now I have friends that I'm gonna go and get brunch with and dinner with. And I have a friend say, hey, I need a private jet one day. So things like that, I love facing fears because they unlock so many doors and so many decisions become easier later because I'm not scared to do these things. So inner work has definitely been a blessing. And as you ladies know, I love sharing inner work with you. I think that's something that's really shifted recently as I feel more strength in sharing my own inner work vulnerability. Where before I was more teaching from what I've already done, now it's what I'm currently doing in the process and I feel safe to share it. So thank you for always receiving that with so much love. Okay, is every religion accepted? Yes. Dubai, you can have whatever religion you would like here. I found a church home that I love here. I have friends who are Christian here. You can speak about Jesus freely. Something that I love is that I feel so safe expressing my religion, where in the US there's sometimes a lot of judgment. There's so many atheists and people who just don't believe. There's a sadness in the energy of the Western culture because of that. Now when I go out in public, I don't feel as uncomfortable praying. So I'll pray before I eat meals. Here, it's like no big deal. Like I've never even thought about it. Where in the US, I would sometimes feel more self-conscious. So that's what I mean when I say I feel even more connected to my faith here. By the way, this dress, I love it. This is what it looks like. I'll try to kind of show you. Okay, it's hard to see. I just got this dress last night. I went to this place called Global Village. It is like my type of Disneyland. There's huge mini villages inside this one giant like theme park. There's a village for China, a village of Russia, a village for the US, a village for Pakistan. You go into the village and inside it's like all these different markets. Like imagine a swap meet, but nice. Imagine this, people from cultures are selling clothes or selling spices, selling food. My friends and I ate so much good food last night and I love that Dubai has things like this. There's such an appreciation for the beauty of other cultures. So I love that. How do I feel that Dubai accepts American culture? It's hard because I don't think that somebody looks at me and says, oh, she's American, and judges. A lot of my family, they told me, being in Dubai, you need to be careful. I'm like, what? I have not experienced any racism, any discrimination. I feel so loved and safe here. Something that my mom taught me to do is when people in the US would ask, oh my gosh, why are you moving to Dubai? I can't believe you're doing that. Ask them, have you been there? I started asking people, like my family and random people, have you been to Dubai? When they would tell me the men are so manipulative and you need to be careful, I would ask, have you been there? They wouldn't say anything. And I would say, okay, thank you for your input. Where is it coming from? Like, there's so many misconceptions that I've learned just to keep my mouth closed until I've actually experienced that culture. Okay, so do I see homeless people? No, because I'm pretty sure it's illegal to be homeless here. The most common ethnic groups that I see a lot of people that are Middle Eastern from all around Lebanon and Pakistan, and a lot of people are Emirati that live here. I don't see many Americans. I've met like 2 Americans, which is crazy. A lot of people from Europe live here because they say it's cold and it's depressing in Europe, and they come here and they're like, this is heaven. So I've met a lot of people from London and Europe. Is the lifestyle very fast, distracting from nature, and ungrounded? Yes, the lifestyle is fast. However, I do believe that you can ground yourself anywhere. And there are parts to Dubai that are very grounding. When I'm in the ocean, I feel so grounded, more than I ever did in Las Vegas. And also, there is a lot of infrastructure. There's a lot of busy, like hustling, passionate energy. I love that. I make sure not to stay in that environment all the time, which is why my apartment is not downtown. But I don't feel that Dubai is super ungrounded. A lot of people say, I just don't like the energy because it's too new. I like the energy. I love modern luxury glam. That's what Dubai is, but it's also mixed with strong values, strong morals. So it's like the perfect place for me. What do I think of the artificial rain? I just learned that Dubai creates their own rain 3 weeks ago, a week before the flooding. One of my friends we were all at lunch, and I said, I really wish that it rained more here. And they're like, anytime that Dubai wants to create rain, they can. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, it's called cloud seeding, I think is what it's called. And I didn't know this. I don't know too much about it. I don't know what the consistency of the rain is, but we'll see. I just think that technology is so advanced and so cool. My friend Jazz, when are you coming to Abu Dhabi? Hello, my girl. I hope to come very soon. So Abu Dhabi is where my friend lives, and it is the #1 safest city in the world. It's an hour from Dubai. It's very beautiful there. Also, all my ladies who are coming to Royalty and Riches, I'm hosting the Dubai retreat in, I think, less than 40 days now. I'm so excited to have you ladies here and for you to experience this. It's so beautiful. We probably will do another retreat in Dubai, not this year, but possibly next year. For the girls who are asking, can I come to another one? Is it true that they don't sleep at night? I'm in bed at night, so I don't know. I am not a night owl, but what I have found, one of my clients who's now my dear friend, she took me to this restaurant back in October, this amazing restaurant, and it was popping on a Monday night. I walked in, I was like, what? This is so crazy. Everybody was there on dates and with groups and with colleagues, and it did not feel like a Monday, it felt like a Friday, and people here say that it's like that every night of the week. So I do think people don't sleep here. I'm not one of them though, I'm in bed. All right, how are the men here? We kind of talked about this already. Something that I noticed in the men, so I ask the taxi drivers all sorts of questions. And one thing that I've found in the men here is I've asked some of the men, what do you find appealing in different women from different cultures? And what I've found is that what men love in American women, this is what I always hear, #1, and I was shocked, height. Men love that the women from America are taller. And I never really realized this, but I guess American women are taller. I'm taller, I'm 5'9", and one man came up to me, he told me, you are tall like the Burj Khalifa. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. So they love that American women are tall. I've also heard that they love our eyes and our nose. They say that our eyes are very, very bright and very big. So I think that's really cute. One more thing I do notice about the men here is that their wife, they love providing for her, and they love making sure that she feels beautiful, rested, glamorous, and it's because she's pretty much an extension and a representation of him. So the better his wife is feeling and radiating, it shows that that man is taking care of her, and it shows that that man is doing well for his family. And the men here have a lot of pride in that. So they love spoiling and providing for their women. It's actually embarrassing for a man if he's not providing for his family. So there's a lot of pride in having a wife that is just glowing and radiating and rested in her feminine energy. So that's one thing I noticed. The men are very much in their healthy masculine energy with that. And they also love how sweet American women are, how friendly they are. So that's just something that I observed that's really funny. The languages that are spoken, English. English is spoken pretty much everywhere. You don't have to know any language to move here. But most of the people here also speak Arabic. It is so beautiful. I love Arabic music. I love listening to people speak, even on things like the waters. Can you ladies see this? It's in Arabic, which I think that is so cool. So you don't have to know Arabic. I'm studying it now so that I can learn more. But English is the main language spoken here. Would I consider marrying an Arab man? Yes, my mind is open to anything. However, what I look for my husband is that we share the same values. So if we share the same values, one of those being faith, if we both have that belief in Christ, then yes, absolutely. People ask me a lot, would I marry outside of my religion? The answer is no, because to me that would be unequally yoked. How are we going to raise our kids? How are we going to be a strong family unit if we have different ways of seeing life? And I really love when that man is rooted in Christ, when he's rooted in God, when he goes to God rather than his ego for questions, for guidance. And what about when our kids grow up and they want to learn about God? If my husband is teaching them about his God and I'm teaching them about the God, the one and only God that I believe is true, there's just going to be a lot of tension, and I'm not here for that. I want a peaceful, healthy home, and that value is really, really important to me. So I would not marry somebody that does not share that faith with Christ, but if he's Arab and he's Christian, then yeah. Okay, what else? The main lifestyle for a woman. This is such a good question. The main lifestyle for women is to play. It is beautiful. If I walk outside right now, if I go to the mall, if I go into a grocery store, you see women, you see men too, but you see women walking around in their beautiful dresses, just hanging out, like enjoying life, going to lunch with friends. It's because the lifestyle here, their husbands, their family set them up to be able to play all day. They don't want women stressed out. They don't want women working. What blows my mind is they don't even want women working within her own home. They don't want her cooking all the meals. They don't want her always watching the kids. A lot of Middle Eastern families have live-in nannies, live-in chefs, live-in drivers. They want the women to just flow. And something that I love is that men will say, I've heard husbands question, like, why do you have a cook? Your wife should be the cook and the chef. And he will answer, no, I'm with her because her time, her energy is precious to me. If her energy is only being consumed by being a slave and by doing all these household tasks, I'm not going to get that access to her. And I love spending time with her. I want my wife to feel free, to feel rested. Men are so in their masculine energies, and they can see and appreciate the feminine energy in women. So I think that's so beautiful. The lifestyle for women is to play. You see that so much here. Habibti, when can I take you out to dinner, my light? You know who you are. I cannot. Most unexpected perk. The most unexpected perk is, oh, I know, it's that there's separate facilities and events and spaces reserved only for women. For example, there are beaches that are only for women. There are some areas of restaurants that are only for women. There are certain nights of the week where it's ladies only. And I noticed that so much in Dubai. It's such a theme here that women have their own separate safe space. And it's because they want women to just go in and feel free and be able to talk with their girls and to feel safe and to not even have the eyes of a man on their energy. And to me, that is mind-blowing. So that's definitely a perk that I love. I love girlhood. I love those healthy sister female friendships, and I feel like it's very easy to find those friendships here. Okay, how wealthy are people here? Well, it's crazy because there is a lot of wealth here, but to them it's no big deal. And it's really expanded and stretched my rubber band of consciousness to say, oh yeah, wealth is no big deal. I think I'm in that transition period where I'm still getting used to it, because 2 years ago I was still working in the restaurant. I was still broke, still struggling. I never thought I would have moved here. And now I feel very secure and blessed financially. So I feel like I'm still getting used to it. Every dollar that I earn is such a blessing. Like, oh my gosh, this just feels so nice to have. So I'm still shocked when I see the level of wealth here. For example, one family that I've met, they all have super luxurious cars, the whole family, kids and parents, but they also have a driver. And to me, I thought that is a new level of wealth. I just bought my dream car and I thought this is amazing. Like, yes, I'll probably never want another car again. Now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the luxury here isn't a luxurious car, it's a step above. It's to have the car and to have a driver. And I love it because, as I mentioned, people value their time here. Why would they drive themselves when they could be driven around in a nice car, doing their makeup, sending emails? I just love the way people think. And there is a very different level of wealth here. A lot of people have yachts, private jets, and it's just really cool here. And there's such a strength of humility. People are very humble here, very modest. One of my wealthiest friends is the most humble woman I know. Like, I just love and appreciate her energy so much. I went over to her house and I took a taxi there. And when I was leaving, she's like, no, I'm gonna have your driver take you home. Don't have my driver take you home. Don't order a taxi. And I thought, what? This is so cool. And with that, when her driver was driving me home, we went through this area and it kind of smelled funny, like a sewer area. The driver turns around, hands me this box of tissues and he just motions for me to cover. I'm in the back of this car with a tissue over my nose, like, is this real life? I felt like a princess. It just feels so different here. That's one thing too, men call you princess everywhere you go. I love it. I think it's so cute. For example, going up and wanting to sit at a restaurant. I've been doing so many solo dates recently. And the servers will say, princess, how can I help you? Oh, princess, come to our restaurant. I love it. I just feel like there's such an appreciation for the preciousness, for the sacredness of being a woman. Okay. This is the last question that we'll do. I just want to keep talking with you. This is so much fun to talk about. What is something about the culture that you feel has brought you a shift in mindset? Love this question to finish it up. We've talked about this in my vlog. Definitely the importance of family and faith. There are so many families here. Families are celebrated and loved and encouraged here in Dubai. I love it so much. And I feel like it has shifted my mindset to now be ready to create my own family. So I shared this in my last video that I feel like now I'm ready for marriage. Now I'm ready to start having kids. I wouldn't say this year, but I'm ready for kids soon. Where before I felt, yeah, like that'll come one day, but it wasn't my focus. Now I actually feel like I'm coming to a point in my business where I just hired someone to help support my businesses, and I'm not micromanaging everything as much. I'm stepping back and I feel like God is preparing me to have a family. So seeing the importance of family, seeing how close, how connected families are, like being a daughter, being an Arab woman, your dad is the one that vets the man. Your family is the one that goes and finds the man that you're going to marry and approves of him, and you don't date people that your family doesn't know and doesn't know his family. Just little things like that where their culture really protects the children, really protects and strengthens the family unit. it has shifted my mindset to really see the value of family even more. I feel even closer to my family now. I feel even more excited to have my own kids, to have my own family. That's definitely something that the culture has shifted. And with that, I will still say I love still being an entrepreneur. I still will run my businesses. I still will create content. However, I just want to be filming a video and maybe have my baby with me. So things like that, my mind has just been exploring and playing around more, and I'm really excited. I just love this city so much. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so grateful that you're curious and excited to go on this journey with me. Thank you so much, ladies, for your time and your energy always, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm so excited to continue making vlogs and to take you on this journey and to be in my apartment and keep doing more inner work trainings with you. I cannot wait to see you in the next video, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Bye.